What is up, guys? This is episode 11, and if you haven't seen any of my previous episodes on doing the back end, go ahead and check that playlist out. It is awesome. So, in this episode, we're going to be mind mapping what we're going to be doing in the front end. Okay, I want to make sure I get my thought process out on how I want to work and how I want to have the front end organized. Okay, so um, let's get started with that. Let's just think about the front end because in the future tutorials it's all going to be about React. We finished the rest of the back end already, and now we're on to the front end at this point. Okay, so I want to have a clear mindset on where I'm going to be going and how I'm going to be doing this on the front end. Okay, so that's why I want to map this out. So we got our React app, right? Or I should say EverNote. EverNote app, right? So the first thing that I'm thinking about is I know for sure that our application is going to be split up into three parts. Okay. The first part is going to be dealing with the UI, right? That's the first part, and then the second part, of course, is the functionality. Now this is broad, but we're going to go into more detail, right? Okay, so we got the UI on this side, and we got the functionality on this side. Okay, now the UI that we're going to be thinking of is the navigation. I know it's one. Okay, we got to handle those logins and signups. Okay, we got to handle that. Probably spelled navigation wrong. Um, the second part is our what is it? Our sidebar that contains the notes. So our sidebar for notes, and then the third thing for our UI would be the editor. Okay, because we're gonna have an editor to be able to, like it has on EverNote, the editor to be able to create the header and whatever you want in there and store in a database and all that good stuff, right? So it's gonna be an editor that we're typing in um, our data that we want. Okay, we're gonna use the editor. Um, editor JS to be exact. If you want to look that up ahead of time, we're gonna be using editor JS. So that's for the UI, and of course we'll get even more specific in a second. And then we have the functionalities, right? Now the functionality is gonna be similar to the UI, but the functionality is gonna be within each um, element. Okay, so the navigation is gonna have the login and sign up. Login and sign up. And then we got, wait, hold on, let me move this over. There we go. And then we got our adding and deleting notes. So add and delete notes. And what's the other functionality? Our login functionality, that's relating to the navigation, and then adding, deleting notes. Is that related to the sidebar? No. Adding, deleting notes is related to the editor, I believe. Because the editor is going to have... No, it's not. This is good that I'm thinking about this. I probably didn't have to separate them now that I'm thinking about it. I could probably do like this. Let me see. Put it over here, right? And then for the editor, that worries about adding, creating notes. And then the sidebar is listing all notes. Okay. And then can I make that a different color? Oh no, I can't. Okay. And then the navigation, login and sign up. Functionalities. Okay. Alright, so they each have their um functionalities on what this area is supposed to do, right? Okay. Um there really doesn't have to be like a routing, because what I'm thinking about in navigation, I'm thinking about just having like a a nice login and sign up buttons in the corner, and then if you click on either one of them, it slides down like a pop-up menu, so you can quickly log in or quickly sign up, and then after that it disappears, and then maybe show a notification saying you have successfully signed in, or of course handle our errors if you didn't um, put in your correct credentials and whatnot. Um, and this will have the features of handling success and error messages. I do want to do that. Um, then when you list the notes, is there any more deeper functionality I want to go besides listing the notes? Of course, when you click on one of the note, it'll show it. It should show it in the editor. Whichever one you clicked on. Yeah, whichever one you clicked on, it should show that note, the contents of it in the editor. Okay. And then the editor is going to have the adding and creating notes. I said, I just realized this. I put adding and creating notes like it was different things. It's the same thing. I meant to put adding and deleting. That's what I meant to put. Sorry. Deleting notes. Adding and deleting. It's going to have those functionalities. Like I said, it's not going to be any routing, because I'm thinking about just having like some a drop down dialog that comes in so you can quickly sign in and all that good stuff, so that it really doesn't have it doesn't have to be like any routing to it. We do have to I believe we do have to handle the off on the front end, right? No, because there's no routes. La 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 la. Yeah, there's no routes. So you don't have to handle. Now, if we had like an actual navigation and made routing, then we would handle. Then we would do like authentication. Like you can't go to this route because you're not authenticated. But since we're not doing any navigation that's like that, we don't need any authorization. I mean, we got the authorization on the back end, so that's going to do it for us. If we was to try to create a note, it'll throw an error saying you have to be signed in. Um, I'll add one thing for this, the listing note. I'll say by default, when you first get in there, you don't have to sign in or log in. By default, when you first get in there, you could see the editor and whatnot, but you're only going to see one note by default, just to show you how it looks. But if you was to try to create a note or anything like that, it'll throw an error. So I'll say by default, you see one. I'll say this by default. There will be a demo note. Okay. Since this app is pretty simple, it's I shouldn't name this UI. I should name it components, to be honest. Components. By being pretty simple, we should, be good right there. Now there is some things that some additional features that I want to add, like sorting, but that would be under like the features category. I could put a features category. Features to add. Oh no, features. Okay, and then I'll drop this down here. Features. I want to have a sort feature to sort like the notes in like maybe alphabetical order or by the date. So I can say sort by alphabet. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Okay. My eyes are kind of, the coloring in my eyes are kind of going bad. I didn't even see if that was a B or an N or not. That's not safe. Sort by alphabet or what did I say? Date. Even though we didn't store date in there, we'll see what we can work out. If it works out with alphabetical order, then we'll just do it with that. Okay. Some other additional features besides that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if EverNote has. Now I'm just thinking of random things, even though I know EverNote probably doesn't have that. Let me see. I don't know if EverNote no, EverNote doesn't have a drag and drop feature. That'll probably be cool to have, but pretty sure they don't. This is good when you're going off an app that's already existing. You can kind of just like build off of the app that you're trying to build off instead of trying to think of all the features and all the functionalities entirely by yourself. It's a good thing that we have this to help us out. What are you talking about? This is my email address. Oh, wait, no, it's under MindMap. No, I say under MindMap. I think it's under this one. What? Is it my Dev Lady Killer? I have so many emails. No, I don't want to reset my password. Okay, now let's be the butthole. I'll do that later. But yeah, it doesn't have the drag and drop feature in EverNote, but it'll be cool to have one. But I'll put that in the possible, in the maybe. Drag and drop feature. Okay. I'll have to do some research on that one. But we got the components, we got the features, we got the packages. Okay. Well, we got the packages and then we got the style. So we got the style. That's gonna be because I want to use Tailwind, Tailwind / custom CSS. I believe. No. Possibly. I'll say / CSS because I might want to do some custom stuff. But I want the general style to be built with Tailwind. I was gonna do React UI, but it just it's so much JavaScript in it that I'm just looking for like some nice CSS, not really JavaScript heavy. And to me it seems JavaScript heavy. That's why I want to go to a CSS framework that's CSS, and then I'll handle all of the JavaScript stuff. But yeah, and our app is not really even that big to be going towards React UI. Let's see. So we got the style, and then we got the packages. Just getting all types of thoughts out here with that. Packages. I know we're gonna need. Let me specify this. Packages dash front end. Okay. So all these packages are related to the front end. So I know for sure that we're gonna need GraphQL. We spelled graph wrong. What in the world? Yeah, GraphQL. GraphQL. I think it's called Apollo React or Apollo by itself. Apollo React, maybe. Because I know Apollo, from what I've been reading, Apollo is just like Apollo client is just like using Axios in a REST API form. Apollo is similar to talking to the GraphQL on the back end, just like Axios is to make requests to a REST. So it's like similar. So basically, Apollo React talks to GraphQL on our back end. What else do we need on the front end besides GraphQL, Apollo React? That's all I can think of right now. Any more, I definitely would add them. But so far, this is like the bread and butter of what I want to go for. Like I said, our app is not that huge anyway. It's kind of small. I thought about going into Redux, but like I said, it's really small. So you're only gonna have the basic. Sorry, you're gonna only have the basic CRUD operations, which is create, read, and delete. Those are the only operations I'm going for. But I mean, I could implement that in the future if I want to add some more stuff onto this, because I still yet to this day have not even really got deep into Redux and all that stuff, because I think it's like hella confusing. But yeah, we'll get to all that good stuff. But this is a good starting point. I wanted to map out all the thoughts that were rolling around in my head. So I want to use this guide. I know I said that before, but I actually really want to use this guide to make sure I'm going in the right direction, make sure I'm staying on track, because I can easily get distracted. It's probably why I never really finish none of my projects, because I always get distracted by other things. I say I'm going to do this, and then you get distracted by doing something else. It throws you off, and your whole app game is like blown. So I'm definitely going to use this and go off this. And in the next episode, we're going to be. We already created our React app from the in the beginning episode of this series. We created them both. We created the React app, and then we did our backend. So we should already have the React app, which we do actually. I shouldn't say should. We actually do. And we're gonna dive into the next episode. I just wanted to map out all of this stuff, and we should be good to go as of now. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I will see you guys in the next one.